Hi, this is Mr. Y. So this game was played on chesskid.com between our own Aiden and Jacob just a few days ago. Actually, yesterday, on March 27th. He was playing against some kid named Jacob21904. And let's see, Aiden had the black pieces, which I have the arrangement this way. And Jacob started with e4. Aiden replied e5, all very normal. We have knight f3, and then Aiden replied with the Petrov defense, which is nifty. I like to see that. It's something a little different. Rather than protecting the pawn directly by bringing the knight out, which is the usual means of doing it, he is counterattacking, attacking this pawn here. So Jacob takes the pawn. Aiden replies by taking the pawn. The usual response here is to push this pawn here, which attacks the knight, pushes it away, and then to take the pawn. And then why? I don't know why. That's just, it works out a little better for black. But, you know, this is okay. So he takes with the knight. And then we have f3, which is a blunder on white's part that Aiden did not see. Why is that a blunder? I'll give you 3 seconds to figure out why. All right. The reason is because it opens up this diagonal on the king. Where is it? Oh, there is it. My arrow is the wrong key. There we go. Diagonal on the king. So what do you do? You go ahead and bring this out. Now, you don't always do it. You have to make sure that you have some support here for the queen, because this pawn is likely going to come out, right? And if it does, then you go ahead and take it, attacking the rook, right? Now, what happens if he takes your knight back? Well, then you take the rook. Okay, so you've got 2 attacks on the rook. You've got the queen attacking the rook, and you've got the knight attacking the rook. And the queen is also a revealed attack on the king. So black is totally winning here. All right, but that didn't happen. After white pushed this pawn, Aiden pushed this pawn, which is the second best move on the board, but it's nowhere near as good. And thankfully he didn't push his f-pawn. He knows better than that. So what did black do? Black went knight g4. Oh, I'm sorry. No. White went knight g4, and that's why I was confusing. Where is g4? That's way over here. So Aiden went queen h4. No, he didn't do queen h4 check. He went knight c5, backing his knight away. All right. Probably not the best move on the board. Again, probably queen h4 would have been the way to go here. Knight e3. Is that right? Knight e3. Where's e3? Whose turn is it? It's white's turn. Knight e3. There we go. So he brings his knight in front of his king. At this point now, it's interesting to note that queen h4 doesn't work so well, because there's no support of the knight here on this square. So so now this actually works to repel the queen. All right. So, but if you have the knight here, even if it's under attack on this square, then you can always just jump it into there, and so this g3 move doesn't work to keep the queen away. But this is still going to be a long-term weakness for white, to have this open diagonal here. So pushing this f-pawn was a mistake, even if we didn't take immediate advantage of it. So Aiden went knight c6, and bishop e2, d5. You know, he starts marching his pawn down. I'm not real fond of that, but, you know, it's actually pretty good. D3 was the response. Interesting response. I think that was the best move on the board. And Aiden goes ahead and pushes and attacks the knight. So he gains another tempo on the knight, and he's got this really forward pawn, which is what might well be a threat later on. So knight g4 is the response here. Bishop takes g4. I don't like this move at all. You might as well just keep attacking it rather than going ahead and taking it. Let's go back. What's better? Perhaps bishop d6 would be the way I would go. Continue developing, and allow yourself to castle. Instead, you're releasing the tension here, and that doesn't do you any good at all. F takes, knight e3, knight e5 rather. Where's e5? That's over here. Okay. G5. So he starts pushing his pawn down. And this move, again, I don't like this move. Right? You attack the pawn with your pawn, but then he just takes, and presumably you take back, probably with the queen. That's not bad, I suppose. But I don't understand the point of giving him this pawn to take. Why not just, right now his pawn is stuck. If he goes forward another square, oops, let's say make a different move. What's a better move? Say bishop e7. Now he makes another move with the pawn, and then you can just take it, and now you've won a pawn for nothing. Even better if he goes ahead and does this. There's a little tactic-y thing here. Now that you've got your bishop and your queen lined up like this, attacking this square. Well, that square isn't so much, but once the bishop goes there, that's check. And say he does g3. Now you're going to sacrifice that bishop. You're going to do something else. Rather than defending it, you're going to do take this pawn. Now you've got another file open, right? Look at that file going up there, and you've got this bishop coming in here, and you've got your queen coming up here. And it's all looking really, really good. So what happens, say he takes your bishop, right? That's the natural thing. You take right back. You've sacrificed a bishop for a pawn. Check. King f1. Watch this. Check. Castle for check. I always love castles for checks. Morphy like to do that. And black is winning. This is that queen, the king is not long for the world. So let's go back. So this situation here, he pushed his pawn, Jacob pushed his pawn to g5, and you gave him a target rather than developing another piece, setting yourself up to castle, attacking this pawn, and also attacking this very powerful h4 square, which is wide open on the king. All right, so let's go back. You pushed the pawn. He didn't take it, which surprised me. And then you did f takes g5. You went ahead and took his pawn. All right, bishop takes g. He took back with the bishop, so you've exchanged pawns. But now you've got this nice open file. Queen takes g5, of course, because he hung his bishop. So now you're up a bishop for no real reason, which is good. So why did he take your bishop, take your pawn? It probably just didn't notice that it was protected. All right. King f2. Right? What? No. Yeah, king f2. Why did he move king f2? That's a strange move. Why did he do that? I wonder what ghosts he was seeing. Okay, king f2. Now you need to develop this bishop. Why do you need to develop the bishop? d6 is probably the square. Not for the bishop's sake. The bishop is not really any better here than it is down here. But the rook is much better. You've still got this possibility of castling again into check. Okay, so you really need to get that bishop developed when it's on this open file and you haven't castled yet and you still can. And there's a king there. There's like tons of reasons why you need to get that bishop out of the way. Even if there was a way to get rid of it, if you could like sacrifice it, it would be worth moving just to get that rook on the open file on the king. That's how important this open file is. All right, but that didn't happen. Queen e3 check. Yeah, okay, that's okay. You know, I would have preferred getting this out and leaving the check for one move later. But okay, he moves king back. You're really winning here. Knight takes d3. Where's d3? I didn't like this move. Why'd you do that? No, that's not what you did. I was reading the wrong one. Knight c takes d3. Wrong knight. There we go, that knight. Again, getting the bishop out would have been the way to go. What did he do? He took with the bishop. Bishop a3. Well, no, let's see here. You did knight takes d3. I guess you figured, oh, I see what you're doing. You had 1, 2, 3 pieces attacking that pawn, and he had only, he had 3 pieces defending it. So I don't know what you were thinking. All right. Anyway, yeah, all right. Again, getting the bishop out would have been better. You took back with the pawn, but you're still winning. Rook d8. Oh, wrong rook. Okay, you bring your rook over here. You really need to get this bishop out so you can get this rook activated. As long as this bishop is on its starting square, this poor little rook here is hiding, is jammed in there. Okay, queen e1 was the response. I guess he's hoping to exchange queens because you've got this vicious attack going. You smartly declined to do so. What do you do? Rook d5. Oh, yeah. All right. I still want you to get your bishop out. Knight d2. Where's d2? Over here. Rook e5. Okay, now you've got the right idea. You've got the rook lined up on the queen. I wonder if check would... No, you didn't... Do you have a check? No, check wouldn't have been better because then you lose the rook. Okay, so you line up with the queen. Rook g1. Over here. And bishop d4. Finally, you get your bishop out. Is that right? Bishop b4. Misread that. Okay, so you're pinning the knight to the queen. Yeah, I suppose that's good. It looks like that knight is going to be won. At this point, he should have taken your queen and been done with it, and then the knight gets away, right? But he didn't do that. What did he do? He went rook g3, attacking your queen, and okay, so what's the move here? I'll give you pause the video here, give you a couple seconds. All right, the move here is queen takes d3. Check. I did that wrong. That's not the move. Why is that? What happened here? Oh, queen takes e1. What did I miss? That's the move. Back here. Oh, when you brought your bishop out. Yeah, there was. This is where the move was. It was queen takes d3. This wins the queen, right? Queen takes d3. Now the king has to move. Can't go here. You can go here, I suppose, right? And then rook takes e1. Going back. Why doesn't this work? Right? That looks like it does the same sort of thing. You're revealing your attack on the queen, just like moving the queen over here did. And you've still got your check on the king. The difference is now the queen can interpose herself. So you take, and now you've just exchanged queens. It doesn't do you much good. All right, so in this position, yeah, you should have taken this pawn. And then you brought your bishop out instead. Finally, like 3 moves too late, 4 moves too late. The rook comes up. Now this square is no longer good because he can just take you right back, right? So that isn't good. Now your queen is under attack. What do you do? I think you did this. Bishop takes d2. Which is okay. There's got to be better moves here. How about queen takes? Yeah. And then you get rook takes. And then you, again, castle into check. Now the king has to go away. Or maybe interpose. It wins a rook. No, it doesn't win a rook. That exchanges rook. Let's see. Rook takes. King takes. And then rook takes. And the knight is pinned. So he wins. That wins a rook. That's the way to go. All right. Okay, so you moved your bishop up there, rook came there, he took your queen. What did you do? You took back the rook. Why didn't you take the queen? Queen is right there. There's probably a good reason. That's why. Yeah, now you're doomed. Now you lose the bishop and the rook. All right, okay, that's why you don't do that. Smart move. Good job. So instead you took with the bishop, you took the rook with the bishop. That protects your rook here. And rook comes over. Rook f8 check. Now you finally bring the rook out. Oh, this is... Castling would have been so much nicer. All right, doesn't really matter. It's, at this point, yeah, I want to get that king out off the line with the queen. Anytime your king and queen are lined up like this is not so good. So you bring the rook out, but that's all right. King e2. Oops, I made the wrong move. He went king e2, not king g2. There we go. Rook f4. Rook f4. Where's f4 here? King d1. Rook takes g4. No, yeah, rook takes g4. You take that. Queen e2. Not sure why he did that. Why did he do that? That's not what he did. He went to queen e2. That's why. Oh, I'm not. Still not sure exactly why he did that. Rook g1 check. Okay. Yeah. And he did queen e1, interposing, which is not the best move. A better move here would have been that. But Jacob made that mistake, and you took his queen. King takes. Bishop takes the rook, and with check. Always nice to be able to have a revealed check like that. King d1, coming after the bishop. Bishop backs up by taking a pawn. King comes after the bishop again. Bishop backs up again. And then the king, what do you do? What does he do? King b3 still comes after the bishop. And rook a5 protects the bishop. And then the game's kind of over. King c4, we have the pawn going up. And he munches your pawn. But your pawns are going to pass. Check. Check, protecting the pawn. Push the pawn. King goes back there, and you have a passed pawn. He resigns. So, good job, Aiden. You know, you could have done better, I suppose. You could have taken advantage of some of your opportunities here. You know, I'm going to recommend to everybody who watches this video, because you're all getting pretty advanced, to start looking into openings. When you play a game like this, go to a website called 365chess.com. Let's see here. This is Chess Kid. This is where I got your video. Let's go to 365. I'm just going to type that in here to the URL. All right. www.365chess.com. Put that in. You get this screen here. All right. Okay. That's all. Then you click on the Opening Explorer. Okay, and you get a chessboard like this over here. And over here you have all the common moves. So what did you play? You played e4. And then you had e5, and you played knight f3, and then you see knight f6 is the second most popular response for black, knight f6, which is what you played. You put that in, and you can see it keeps updating the board here, keeping it intact with what you've done. And then he does knight takes e5, I think is what he did, which was the book move, right? And you can flip this around too, so it looks like the way it looked to you. And then you took back with knight takes e4, right, which is the third most popular move. So you can see these are the number of games that were played that way. The year last played isn't really so interesting. Although sometimes if it suddenly disappears, like in 1996 or something, that usually tells you that there is a refutation. Somebody's come up with a way to defeat that. So knight takes e4. You can see the green band here is the number of times white wins. The red band is the number of times black wins, and the gray band is the number of draws. So this knight takes e4 is not real good for black. Black tends not to win with knight takes e4. So you do that, and now you take a look at the new green bands, and the best move for white would have been queen e2. So, you know, you can go back and look at your own moves. So let's go back. We've got the list of moves here. Knight f6, and he went knight takes e5, right? That was where we were. Now, so the question is, what's the best move after knight takes e5? Well, d6 is what comes up here as, well, it's not the highest winning percentage for black. The highest winning percentage is queen e7. But what's interesting is that's also a higher winning percentage for white. So it's about the same in terms of the actual winningness of queen e7 versus d6. But knight takes e4, you can see, is more losing and less winning for black. So much more said than I really meant to go into. I didn't want to talk about 365.com when I started this video, but there we are. 365chess.com. I think it's time. You can see it's got the name here, Petrov Defense. It's time for a lot of the good Britain Acres players to start learning openings so they don't get stuck in opening traps. Okay, so let's see if we can follow this out. You had knight takes e, and then he played, what did he play? He played f3. That's way down here. Okay, so it was only played once. Here's the game. Let's see what Prekayo did. So we have the, all right, knight f3. Oh, he also went forward backwards with a knight rather than attacking with the queen. Okay, so it is an under 10 tournament. You can see here that's the event. All right, so yeah, the right move there it doesn't even make it to the database, or rather the move before. So now we've got this new window up, and we close that little window, and then we go back to this one. All right, I've talked way too much. I've been talking for 21 minutes. Is that right? Yeah, 21 minutes. Okay, I'll make this move away, bring this back up. Anything more to say about this? Sheesh. Yeah, you didn't take advantage of the open diagonal. Okay, I'm going to stop. Good game, Aiden. If you have any questions, well, I'll see you Wednesday. Keep playing chess. Bye.